Over the next 6 weeks, I'll be transforming this ordinary Chevy Astro cargo van into the budget-friendly camper van of my dreams. This van will sleep 1 to 2 people, is decently off-road capable, will be powered by solar and lithium battery, will run a refrigerator cooler, full TV monitor, and media center. This van is stealthy enough to blend in and small enough to still get good gas mileage. I'll be living out of this van several months out of the year as I hike and explore the country, and having this van will open up a new world of adventures for me. But first, I need to build it. So here's a look at the van. I'll give you a quick walk around. I bought it in 2019 for $1,600 with 145,000 miles. There really wasn't anything wrong with it. The guy's wife was only selling because he was in jail with a DUI and they just needed the money. I used this van for 2 years hauling my kayak around and for work, so I know it's a good running van. I'm currently working on a few mechanical repairs and upgrades, which will be an entire video on its own. There's a roof rack on it already, which is a huge bonus. And this spot here is where I plan to mount 2 100-watt solar panels. And here's a look at the interior. Now this is a cargo van, so it's pretty bare bones. This van has a cage set up and some plastic over the walls in the rear. All of that will need to be removed. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove this cage. Half the nuts are stripped though, and I decide to remove the front seats first to gain access to the other side. After removing the dirt and grime and casing the bolts holding the seats to the floor, I'm able to start breaking them loose. Once the bolts are loose, I switch over to air tools to finish the job. And look at how dirty this floor is. I'll be doing a deep clean after it's stripped down. And now it's back to the same problematic nuts and bolts. Time for something a little more aggressive. Just a few more screws and the cage should be free. With the cage down, it really opens up the space and I can finally see what I'm working with. And now that I know what I'm doing, removing the second half of the cage is quick work. Now I need to remove the trim holding down the floor mat. The heads of these Phillips head screws are rounded off though, and some need the grinder as a last resort. With the floor mat free, I can slide it out the back and see what condition my floors are in. There's a lot of dirt and water in here from hauling my kayak around in the back. I'll be putting it on the roof rack from here on out. But really, these floors aren't bad. They'll clean up pretty nice and they look pretty solid. Now it's time to remove the plastic walls in the back. These inserts are called weld nuts, and the lip on them will probably prevent me from pulling this wall off after all the bolts are removed. I try to pull the wall off anyway, but the lip on those weld nuts has this thing firmly in place. Once again, it's time for the angle grinder. The well nuts are awkward to remove. The lip is flush with the plastic, so there's no getting under it. Instead, I'll cut the plastic around the well nuts and separate them from the wall. With the plastic wall removed, I can get behind the lip of the well nuts and pull those out.
And that's how it's done.
Next, I'll remove the flooring in the front. Under the rubber floor is some padding, and it's completely soaked with water. Just pulled up all the carpet in the front here, and you can see there's just standing water on everything. So that's because I've got a leak in the back, the weather stripping on the rear doors, which I've ordered to replace. So once I replace that, the problem should be solved. So I've got the carpet elevated a little bit here up on this ladder, a couple rocks underneath it, a fan blowing on it. Hopefully a day or two this thing dries out, and hopefully I can just reuse this stuff, because the thought of pulling another set of carpet from the junkyard just doesn't sound appealing. It's quite a bit of work. Next, I sop up all the standing water that was under the padding. And I'll let this fan run for a few hours to dry it all out. Now I'll use a wire brush attachment on my angle grinder to strip away the chipping paint on the floor. I'll be recoating this with primer and paint later, and good prep work is key to any quality paint job. I'll also strip rust and paint in the rear of the van. The goal is to grind any rust down to bare metal. This will give the paint the proper surface to stick to. Now it's time for a deep clean. My favorite cleaner is Awesome. This stuff is amazing. Here's a small section done for comparison. The interior clean is now complete, and the van is starting to look pretty respectable. Honestly, I didn't think it would clean up this well. Next, I'll apply some primer to the bare metal to prep it for paint. I'm using an etching primer for maximum adhesion. With the primer dry, it's time to apply the paint. None of this needs to look good at all, since it will all be covered up, but it's an important step to prevent any rust from forming. Now I'll use some Sikaflex 715 to seal up any screw holes I see in the floor, walls, etc. This is a flexible and durable roof sealant. It should work pretty well here for this application.